Okay, this is a great topic for me because I found out about this fairly recently and actually did a video on the Idaho stop. I encourage you to check that video out where we talk about how in Idaho, it's the only state where you can treat a stop sign as a yield sign if you're on a bicycle. Only if you're on a bicycle, which is great. It's saved injuries, it's reduced injuries and collisions. It's actually proven to be safer even in the larger cities, in Boise, for example. So it's an interesting situation. I'm not sure why other states haven't adopted this. In addition to that, they also say that you can treat a red light as a stop sign. Now, obviously you have to wait till it's safe in both of these situations, and there's still laws that apply to that safety. But what it's saying is, for example, if a light's broken, if it doesn't detect you, if no one's coming, then you can go through the light. I think this is a great law. I think more states should adopt this. It's 2 in the morning a lot of times when I'm coming home. I'm sitting at a light, it's not detecting me. You know, that's ridiculous for me to have to wait and sit there. Now, on the flip side of that, a lot of these states just say, no, you just cannot go through, you have to treat a stop sign as a stop sign and a light as a light. Now, a lot of people agree with this. They think, oh, well, that's safe. And again, you can watch the Idaho stop video to get all the arguments of why we should have the Idaho stop in other states. But that aside, I want to also talk about these states with exceptions. Now, you notice the blue states, what this generally means is it means you still have to stop at stop signs, but a lot of times these states have clauses for red lights that are broken or that don't detect bicycles, and they usually have specific things like, you know, you have to wait 120 seconds before you can go through, or 2 cycles, or, you know, they get very specific in certain states. So if you're in a blue state, you may or may not be able to go through a red light. You have to look at the specific law. Now, it's tricky because in California, it's interesting because there's a clause in California that says the lights have to be maintained. So that's kind of implying that it's on the state to make sure the lights detect vehicles. But I know, for example, there's one spot on a bikeway that crosses a street that definitely does not detect bicycles. There were 2 of us, one on each sensor, and we waited for 8 minutes. We waited for 5 minutes, and then I think we even pushed the button, and it's still 3 minutes later, it still didn't detect us. So the law says they have to be maintained. So does that mean we have the right now to go through the red light? According to California Vehicle Code, it doesn't necessarily give you that right. So it's a really iffy situation. You could probably argue each way, but so that's why you have to really be familiar with your own state laws.